For this active meditation, all you'll require is a chair or a stool. Try to find a chair which doesn't have armrests and also that is not too soft, that you have a firm surface to sit on. Sit at the front of the chair, rest your hands on your legs, palms down or palms up. Close your eyes and begin by scanning your body from your feet to your toes, just being aware of what is in contact with the ground or the chair and what is not. Starting with your feet, your lower legs, your upper legs, your seat, your lower back, your upper body, also your arms, your upper arms, lower arms. Observe your hands touching your legs, and your neck and your head. Take a moment to think of your body in relation to gravity. Gravity is keeping you in contact with the chair, but try not to feel pushed down, weighted down by gravity. Have a sense that you're being carried in the chair, like you're on a moving vehicle. Think about your breathing. There are 3 sorts of breathing. Unconscious breathing, how we breathe in everyday life. Conscious breathing, when we direct or manipulate our breathing. Let's do 3 breaths together. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And there's a 3rd sort of breathing which lies somewhere between the 2. When we bring our conscious awareness to the unconscious breathing rhythm. This is breathing from awareness, or perceptible breathing. This is not so easy to do when we're at rest, because usually when we bring our awareness to our breathing, we tend to direct it or control it. So let us explore this breathing from awareness and try to approach it. The breathing cycle at rest has 3 phases. There's the inhalation, the exhalation, and then a pause. We're going to isolate each of these 3 phases, starting with the inhalation. Let your breathing be normal. And as you are approaching the next inhalation, when you start it, I want you to do it very actively. And then let it go. Let there be a pause, waiting for the next inhalation to begin. And when it begins, breathe very quickly, very actively. Let it go. Wait for it to start, and when it starts, breathe in very actively. You can breathe in through the nose or the mouth, but just actively inhaling and passively exhaling and waiting for the next inhalation, at your own speed, at your own rhythm. 1 or 2 more times. And then just let that go. Let 1 or 2 breath cycles pass on their own. And next we'll move to the exhalation. The same principle. Let the breath flow happen. Let the inhalation come. And when you arrive at the exhalation, just breathe out more actively, more quickly. Waiting for the inhalation, allowing the inhalation. And then actively exhaling. Again, you can breathe out through your mouth or your nose. Just 1 or 2 more times. And then let that go and just allow 1 or 2 breath cycles to pass by on their own. Next, we're going to focus on the pause. This is a slightly different isolation. You're going to prolong the pause. Just resist the urge to inhale a little bit, then let it go and allow the inhalation to come. So you allow the inhalation, you allow the exhalation, and then just wait in the pause. Just 1 or 2 seconds longer than normal, resisting the urge to inhale, and then release. And let the inhalation come, let the exhalation go. And wait in the pause. 1 or 2 seconds longer, resisting the urge to inhale. And let it go, and allow the inhalation to come. Do this at your own rhythm. Each breath cycle could be slightly different. Just 1 or 2 more times. And then let that go. And just try now to observe your breathing. This breathing practice is based on the work of a woman called Ilse Middendorf. And she used the phrase, we let the breath come, we let it go, and we wait for it to come back on its own. So just observe the breath, not controlling it. Let the breath come, let it go, and wait for it to come back on its own. As we continue, if you catch yourself directing your breathing, just return to this exercise, actively inhaling, actively exhaling, or prolonging the pause. And from that, try to take a step back in your awareness, just to observe. Letting the breath come, letting it go, and waiting for it to come back on its own. Put both your hands on your stomach, just over top of your belly button. And begin to observe the spot where your hands are touching. Observe there's a movement and see how it's connected to your breathing. As we breathe in, there's an expansion. As we breathe out, there's a swinging back. And in the pause, there's a quiet stillness. Now, with the help of our hands, we're going to observe this movement throughout our torso. Begin by sliding your hands to your left side. Let your torso turn at the same time, so you're facing to the side. And then just observe the movement there. Letting the breath come, letting it go, and waiting for it to come back on its own. And then return to the middle. Switch your hands so one other hand is on the bottom. Breathing in, breathing out, waiting for the next breath. Observing the expansion on inhalation, and swinging back on exhalation. And then slide your hands to the other side, also your torso looking to the side. And then slide your hands back to the middle. Letting the breath come, letting it go, waiting for it to come back on its own. Now you're going to cross your arms, bring your hands up to your armpits with your thumbs forward, and then just let your arms rest. So now you feel your fingers in the palms of your hands, on the sides of your chest and under your arms, the thumbs in front of your armpits. And you have an arm resting on the chest, letting the breath come, letting it go, waiting for it to come back on its own. And then let your hands down. Now you're going to slide your hands around to your lower back. Your hands, palms touching the lower back. Again, observing this connection, expansion, inhalation, swinging back, exhalation. And then you're going to slide your hands back to the front. And again, you're going to cross your arms, but this time a bit further, and you're going to give yourself a hug. Grabbing your shoulder blades as far as you can reach comfortably. Letting the breath come, letting it go, and waiting for it to come back on its own. And then release your hands, let your arms and hands slide back to center. And now choose one of your arms, and now you're going to slide it to the side. Flip your hand over so the back of your hand is on the lower back. And then you're going to slide that up towards the space in between your shoulder blades. Go as far as you can comfortably. And then release it. Bring the hand back to the front with your other hand. And now you're going to finish just by bringing both hands up to your upper chest. Now with both hands, I want you to start massaging, rubbing, activating, energizing your torso. All those places that we touched in stillness, I want you to now actively touch and try and touch the whole torso, starting with the stomach, going to the sides, up to your armpit, over the shoulders, across the chest, back down to your stomach, and the other side, up the side to your armpit, over your shoulder, over the chest. You can just rub, you can massage a bit, use the fingertips, just activating the whole torso. And once you've touched the whole front and the sides, move to the back, lower back, all the way around, upper back. Again, flip your hand over so the tops of the hands can go a bit higher up the back. Space between your shoulder blades. And then with one hand over to the back of the shoulder blade. If you're in a chair with a back, you can lean back and just wiggle your back into the chair just to feel those spots that you couldn't touch with your hands. And now let your hands rest next to your body, not on your legs. Close your eyes. And without the help of our hands now, try to see if you can still be aware of this movement in your torso. Expanding on inhalation, swinging back on exhalation, and the dynamic stillness in the pause. Starting with the stomach, the sides, the lower back, the upper back, the armpits, and the upper chest. Now take your left hand to your right shoulder and start massaging the shoulder joint. Over the top, again the armpit, all the way around. And once you've rubbed all the way around your shoulder, I want you to brush from the shoulder down the length of the arm. Do this 3 or 4 times, touching all the sides of your arms. And going over the hand. And then take both hands to your hip joint, and I want you to rub from where you touched before, over the buttocks, over the side of the hip, the front, also the inside, all the way around this joint. And then with both hands brushing down the leg to the knee. Massage the knee and rub down the leg to the ankle, rubbing the ankle, and then brushing down the foot. Coming back up the whole leg. Go back over the side of your body, and again brushing down the arm to the hand. Now let your both arms rest next to your body one more time. And let's return to this scan we did at the beginning, starting from your feet all the way up your body. Observing the difference from one side to the other of your body. And the feet, up the legs, your seat, your torso, and your arms. And then take your right hand to your left shoulder, and we do the same process, rubbing around the shoulder, all the way around. And once you've rubbed around, brushing down the arm, all the way over the hand, 3 or 4 times, and with both hands over the hip joint. From where you touched before on the torso and the lower back, over the buttocks, over the side of the hip, and the front, and the inside, all the way around this joint. And then brushing down to the knee, and rubbing the knee, and brushing down the lower leg to the ankle, and then rubbing the ankle, and then brushing from the ankle over the foot. And then starting from the foot, rubbing all the way back up. Ankle, lower leg, knee, upper leg. Again, do the side, over the shoulder, and down the arm to the hand. And then again, let your arms rest next to your body. And let's scan from the feet, up the legs, comparing the difference from side to side of the body again. Through the seat, through the torso, to the shoulders, down the arms. And finally, we come to the neck. Take both hands, rubbing around the neck, from the torso, where we touched before, up the front of the neck. From the shoulders, up the side of the neck, and from the back of the neck. And after you've touched all the way around, brush from the back of the neck, up the back of the head, and from the side of the neck, over the ears, up the side of the head, and from the front of the neck, over the chin, mouth, cheeks, nose, eyes, forehead, and then the tips of the fingers just touch the top of the head. And then rest your arms again next to your body. If your chair has a back, let yourself now slouch back into your chair so your back is touching the back of the chair. And let your legs extend a bit further out. And bring your awareness back to this movement in the torso, expanding on inhalation, swinging back on exhalation. And try to sense if this movement passes further from the torso out to the limbs. Sense if there's a real movement or just a sense of energy. But observe the expansion on inhalation, passing through the hips, into the legs. The expansion in the torso, passing through the shoulders to the arms. And the expansion in your torso, passing through your neck to your head. And in your neck and head, also observe the two directions. We breathe in, the air is going into the body. At the same time, the expansion radiates outwards. And on exhalation, it's the opposite. The air is passing out of the body, and the swinging back returns to the center of the body. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube by clicking the button here.